Hi. I I tried to do this live on Facebook, but it didn't go so well. I was going to do it tomorrow morning. I may do another one tomorrow morning. It's late at night, but I have to pick up the dog in the morning. So I thought while I was out here soaking my feet in my foot detoxer, I think you call it, that I would talk to you about the activation on Wednesday. You know, I've worked over half a century, so I don't advertise. I like working by results. So when people have results, like when the activations, they come back or they tell their friends, and so many things that deal with the deeper nature of our systems don't really language well. And also the fact that we've been raised in a world of trying to recover from trauma. There's not a lot of course, this would be the moment that the Air Force plane came over, but it just adds to the wind and the lizard and the chimes, and you even get to see the plane. How fun is that? So the point is that there's so much language that doesn't. I'll put Esme in the picture. There's so much language that we have to tell you that you're going to recover from a trauma or something like that. And so I've never known how to talk a lot about what I do. So people have a result and they call back and they refer their friends, and it's more relational than product or service oriented, I guess you'd say. But I want you to know, and I hope I'm not misunderstood, that I have been um, with a lot of people. I'm very into cellularly unpacking things. I'm a cellular empath. I listen through a language that's cellular. Hi, darling. And I listen like the cellular system is in a conversation. And when I do activations, I'm watching a bee. And when I do activations, I get to be in that cellular conversation of whatever's rising in the cells. We give it our energy, we give it our attention. uh, Everything that's rising that is seeking wholeness, seeking an integrative strength and stamina of our existence, which our cells are famous for giving us. So I don't know quite how to put this in words, but before I got COVID, I was already paying attention to it at a psychic level, a little bit like trying to befriend something, trying to figure out what its relationship with you is, trying to figure out what it like. It's like trying to befriend a bear, but not wanting to get too close, knowing that if you got too close, that friendship could end in a sudden swipe. So it's that kind of thing, if you can kind of get my drift. And this only came to me today because I'm doing the activation on Wednesday, but I've really been paying attention to people that have gotten the vaccine because I've had the virus and I'm being treated for post-virus symptoms. And I can feel it at a cellular level. I can feel it as an activity of consciousness in my body that has certain dynamics unfold that force me to bring my up level my system beyond where it was before, which I think is a really good thing. Not that it's trying to cause that, but it is something I noticed was available, is just to settle in and go to work if you haven't been compromised too much physically, to just try to move yourself, to upgrade yourself. I think that's different than healing. Healing just means kind of going back to where you were, or maybe it doesn't. I'd have to ask a genuine healer. But at least for me, that's usually what it means, being able to cope and function again. But integration and transmutation deals with taking what you've had to include, in this case, COVID, and and being able to move your whole system to the next greater whole. So the point I want to make is that I've also, because of that, when people got their vaccines, I could feel the virus in their system because they're getting something that deals with the virus. I apologize for the wind, but you're getting to do a wind tunnel with me. And I don't know how much you can hear, so I'll cover this hand maybe. let's just wait till it gives me another break. But anyway, so yesterday I began to realize, talking to some people that had the vaccine and listening to them cellularly, that I could hear a little bit like when we're separated from ourselves a bit, like we're not quite on our game. We don't quite feel like we're ourselves. Let's just not get too technical about it. And that there's and I noticed that too, there's something about having had this virus, is I would say to myself, I just can't quite get back to me the way I know me. And not that that was necessarily important to do, but it speaks to something that requires the activity of consciousness, our consciousness, so that no matter what we do or what happens to us or what we have to engage in, that template of our own consciousness stays intact, our true consciousness, our ability to recognize ourselves as our direct link with creation and part of a greater whole. So the activation's only $11. And I suddenly realized I would love to have people that have had the vaccine or had COVID, and everybody else, because we're definitely in a collective storm right now. And but I really want to invite people that have had the vaccine, because I haven't had it yet. And what happens when I'm working in an activation, just to give you a little peek in the window, is I can feel in a cellular response, I can kind of show the other body how it looks to be whole. I think that's the only way I know how to say it. I can kind of demo it, like sort of shine lights on things. Don't think in matter or physical, think more in intelligence or in knowledge. So that's what I wanted to do. And now I have the wind blowing in my ear again. But I really wanted to invite people who have had the vaccine, $11 is a meal. And to come on, and also it helps me investigate. It helps me unpack something. It helps me in the conversations I'm having with homeopaths and doctors and people that are really of high standard and really deeply investigatory. It helps them. It helps me see through a cellular empath's eyes, so they can figure out things to support people who have effects from the vaccine or anything that the vaccine might compromise in our systems or might enhance in our systems. So anyway, that's the invitation. And I wanted to do it on Zoom. And I wanted to, we're in the process of, you can see our backyard, we're in the process of putting everything to get nuts as me, our girl who can't wear wings right now because of the weather, because of the wind. So anyway, this is an invite. It's also kind of meant to educate, because see, I never thought about educating people because I like to work by word of mouth, and because the results level was such that, I kept my calendar full. But actually, as human beings with this COVID virus and with the vaccine, being in touch with ourselves at a cellular level, comprehending what it's like to come into a group of people where in our shared field of resonance, it literally increases the vitality and wholeness of everyone on the call or everyone who's connected into the call. There's just a lot that's really important to understand and know now, because it applies. It's not like a mystical or metaphysical or spiritual journey now. Our ability to be conscious and to work in the consciousness of our body is now as valid as our need to know how to brush our teeth. Another airplane, there he goes. It's kind of funny, they kind of look like they're about to crash, don't they? But they're going to the Air Force, into the airport. Anyway, thank you. I'm gonna listen to it to see if it was so full of wind and sound you couldn't hear me. But if not, I'm gonna post it on the World of Unity tonight. Love you.